This is a real, genuine question, Dog Pound. Are we sure Deshaun Watson is even bad? I mean, every quarterback, Baker Mayfield, Deshaun Watson, Joe Flacco this year, every quarterback Kevin Stefanski has had is not good. And then they go to a different team, find themselves again, and are awesome. Well, look who just favorited that video.
Let me see. We're now tuned in to the Dark Times channel.
You know, you can praise the Browns for winning a game that they should win, but you could also critique the quarterback play and say that's not going to be sustainable. If he continues to play that way, sooner rather than later, they're going to sit down and say, all right, we're going to Shedeur Sanders and see what he got.
First of all, this was a hard game to watch. I mean, it was boring as hell.
Yeah, it was a
especially once the Browns got the pick six to start the second half, you knew the game was over. Even as bad as the Browns have been, you're like, the Dolphins are not doing anything here. It was so boring. You had the Chris Bryant of broadcasters calling the game, Spiro Ditas.
Oh, they went to in the time machine talking about the 2017 time. I said, this game is over.
Spiro Ditas hit the scene like a house of cards, and now he's
and Archuleta kept talking about how he really feels sorry for this fan base. His wife's parents are from here, and it felt like a pity party for the Browns.
God. But, and then they were just going on and on about the quarterbacks, even though the quarterbacks really didn't do anything. It was weird. But anyway, in terms of Dillon Gabriel, again, it's you hate to go overboard because it's 3 games. It's 3 games with a crappy supporting cast. So it's hard to give a full evaluation of him. But I'm going to say what I've said the last 2 weeks and what I've said all along. I don't see anything in this guy that makes me think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I'll admit it's not fair because he hasn't played enough and he doesn't have good talent around him. But I just feel like if you had that quarterback, you'd see it a little, right? Wouldn't you?
You should see something.
There's nothing with this guy. Again, he's not terrible, but there's nothing I've seen with this guy in the preseason, and training camp, and in the season so far that makes me think he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. That's it.
Which means we're back to square one at the end of the year.
And so after the game the other day in which the Browns defeated the Miami Dolphins, in which there was a lot of garbage time in that game, and a lot of people thought that Shedeur Sanders should have got an opportunity to be able to get into that game. I was one of those ones that was in the camp of Shedeur Sanders getting an opportunity because Dillon Gabriel got an opportunity. When Joe Flacco was here, Dillon Gabriel got an opportunity to go in and not necessarily make some plays, but an opportunity to get his feet wet in live action in a real NFL game. And to be fair, it's probably just me wanting to see Shedeur Sanders out there on the field with the ones, with the starters, because I think he gives the Cleveland Browns the best opportunity to go out there and actually win some games and make a difference while doing so.
People wondering, hey, does Dillon Gabriel give us the best chance to win? You know, where do you think they are all with that and Dillon Gabriel?
Well, I think they're pleased so far with what they see. It's been 3 games. He hasn't contributed. 2 of them, he didn't contribute to the loss. The one in London, which they did lose, wasn't his fault. And, of course, the win yesterday. The Pittsburgh game, you can lay that on the game plan, too, rather than, a bevy of turnovers. So I think they're pleased that he's pretty much protecting the ball. You're right, he's been lucky. But still, there's 0 turnovers on his record through 3 games. And he, go back to the Pittsburgh game, he got hit 22 times with the sacks and never lost the ball. So I think, it's kind of faint praise, but, he's not losing the games for you. And I think that's the first step. They can trust him not to go out there and lose the game.
How do you think they're evaluating him in terms of, okay, when do we think it would be time to make a change to Shedeur or see Shedeur? Like, how do you think they're also, because that is a balance too in how they're doing this.
Well, a bunch of turnovers would do it, and he's protecting the ball pretty well, like I said. Scoreboards, 1 losses will determine it. We got 10 games left, and I'm sure there'll be a time for Shedeur in their mind.
And the word is, rumor has it, as they say, Shedeur Sanders is about to get his opportunity. But the only thing in question, as we all know, is the timing of it.
I need to see Shedeur when they're going to give him a chance. And by that I mean they have to tell him he's starting on Monday. Like, it's not going to happen anytime soon, I get it, but You got the Patriots, then the bye week. I was told by 2 different sources yesterday at the stadium. I was told by 2 different sources. One said Shedeur, Chris, will start the last 4 games of the season no matter what. Unless the Browns win every game through the Titans week. Shedeur will play the Bears, Bills, Steelers, and Bengals. They want to see what he's got. Another person said he could be in play earlier than that.
So no doubt about it, no question. We are going to see Shedeur Sanders at some point this year. And I'm in the belief that the longer they can keep Shedeur Sanders off the field, the more they can justify taking Shedeur Sanders in the 5th round.
You're supposed to improve with every appearance.
He played with the 2s in the first game.
I'm not going to argue with him, all right? He had 5 series, and he went backwards on each of them.
Played with the 3s, Tony. 4 of the 5 guys got waived the next day. That doesn't mean anything? That doesn't mean anything to you? Boy, it means something to you. It means something to you if Dylan Gabriel was the guy playing with the 3s, and they got waived the next day. That would mean something to you. Doesn't fit your narrative. Doesn't fit your narrative.
Narrative? I don't understand your emotional investment in Shedeur.
Tony, I'm rooting for the kid. Don't worry about what my investment is. Worry about what your investment is with your guy. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about why I like a guy. I think that kid can play better than Dylan Gabriel. I said it before the draft, and I'll stick to it. I think he got a raw deal here in Cleveland. End of story. That's how I feel. Don't tell me how to feel.
At which point will you admit, boy, was I wrong?
Tony, it might be 10 years down the road because both these guys are going to be backups, honestly.
I agree with you. I agree with that. But right now, Gabriel's better. Couldn't you see it? Didn't you guys watch
Tony.
the game?
Yeah, Tony, yes. You asked me why I'm rooting for Shedeur because I like him. I'm sorry he's famous. I'm sorry that you don't like famous people, even though you're the most famous guy in the world right now.
No, that's
okay.
Not
I don't know what you're thinking. I'm just telling you. Don't tell me who to like and who to root for, because I don't root.
Because right now the narrative that they're trying to push is that Shedeur Sanders isn't ready, and he's learning and he's progressing within the Browns organization. He's doing everything that he needs to do, but right now he's just not ready. And Dylan Gabriel gives them the best opportunity to win. And so Shedeur Sanders is sitting and he's learning. He's learning from Kevin Stefanski. He's learning from all the different offensive coordinators in that building. When Shedeur Sanders finally gets his opportunity and he gets in there and he does what a lot of us think that he's going to do, now the Browns can take full credit. Now Kevin Stefanski can take full credit for what Shedeur Sanders looks like. But if they would have put Shedeur Sanders in there early and he balled out, there would have been no question what was done on draft day. And so in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, they have to slow walk this thing. It's the only way that a lot of people come out of this unscathed, is if the Browns spin the narrative and say that they developed Shedeur Sanders. He wasn't ready when he was drafted, but by the end of the season, by the time we put him in under our system, he was ready, despite teammates and people who are around him saying the total opposite.
Talk about Shedeur again, and he's likes to have fun out there. Is the best I can describe it. You know, he comes on the field and he's going up to the receivers and like thinking of celebrations to do when we score, like creating celebrations and all that, and that's awesome. It lightens up the mood. Everyone feels like, 'cause you go in there, especially the first couple of days of minicamp, and everyone's tight, everyone's stiff, everyone's like, I can't make a mistake, And he's coming up to you asking, you think he has an important question for you? He's like, hey, twin, what celebration do you want to do? Yeah, all right. I like it.
You know that.
Definitely loosens you up and makes you play a little freer.
And so, like I said earlier, we are going to see Shedeur Sanders at some point this season, but they got to wait. They got to slow walk it, because if they don't slow walk it, everybody comes out looking like you know what, and we can't have that. And so I'm prepared to see Shedeur Sanders, unless, barring injury, unless somebody gets hurt, or Dylan Gabriel, God forbid, gets hurt, or he just comes out looking really bad, which I think is probably going to be next to impossible based on the way that they're playing, based on their low expectations of him. I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be in there probably for at least 4 more weeks. They got about 9 games left. And so, yeah, I can see Dylan Gabriel getting at least 3 or 4 more games, and then they'll turn to Shedeur Sanders. But those are my thoughts on it. Make sure you guys go ahead and chime in below as we usually do. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button for me one time. And as usual, peace and chaos.